What's the best way to whiten your teeth? Again, there's so many different philosophies about this, and not one answer is the right answer. There are many products and there are many different ways to whiten your teeth. There is the in-office whitening, and that's a procedure that's done in the office. It takes about an hour, and we usually use a very concentrated, much more constant, like a more prescription-based concentration for the peroxide, and it does the work in that hour, so you get multiple shades whiter. Generally, I mean, some people are more resistant to whitening than others, but generally you get to be a lot whitening and whiter in that in that time. And it's become a lot more comfortable over time with the new materials on the market. It used to be that people would get extremely sensitive after doing a session of whitening. It's not the case anymore. There are many different materials on the market, different ways to do it, and kind of ways to prevent that really sensitive condition, like teeth sensitivity afterwards, after the whitening. It's one appointment, and in that one appointment we apply the whitening in multiple sessions. So it's generally 2, sometimes 3 sessions, and it's roughly about 20 minutes. It's a controlled environment. The gums are kind of blocked out as much as possible. The mucosa, which is like the lips and the cheeks, like the inside and parts of your the mouth, are kind of separated, isolated out. So and the material is easier to kind of control, so it doesn't damage that other tooth structures as to other oral structures. Not when you do the in-office. It does a really great job, obviously, and the other good thing about it, in my opinion, is that you're not constantly introducing your mouth and your teeth to that abrasive chemical. So it's really, you're doing it once. It usually lasts a good amount of time. Again, different for everyone, generally about 6 months. And then you can always follow it up at home with like doing a lot less whitening and less frequently to kind of upkeep it. So that's the one thing I really like about the in-office ones. There are some doctors who don't deal with in-office whitening at all. They don't do it, they just don't spend that kind of time doing the in-office whitening, and they send the patient home with less concentrated but still prescription strength whitening, and it could be put in little trays that are made specifically for each patient, and helps the patient use very, very little amount, and controls the gel to kind of seep over and out onto the gums, so it doesn't irritate the gums as much when you're using such a little amount, and so in a tray that's specifically made for the patient's mouth. And so that's one other option to use, but it does need to be used more frequently until that desired shade is achieved, and then there is upkeep afterwards. So really you are kind of introducing that environment to the chemical more often. And then there are different kinds of trays on the market, so there is the ones that are solely prescribed by a dentist. They're a little bit more concentrated. The trays sometimes are fitted a little bit easier, but there are also over-the-counter ones. There are a lot of over-the-counter ones. Usually concentration's not as strong. Usually need to use them a lot more frequently. There's not a lot of control when it comes to where the material is going, and it's just results vary.